We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of not the Crypto Morning Coffee, but an afternoon coffee with a lot of interesting topics, with a lot of hot topics. So, for example, the US elections, whoever wins, what will be the impact, what could we expect in the next couple of days, huge volatility that is coming to the crypto space, and also what is going on with altcoins getting wrecked on Bitcoin dominance. That is one topic, and the other one will be more in the direction of what is going on with Ecomi. It's been absolutely dumped at the moment. Will it ever recover? We will see. And also the Veveverse that is going to be launched throughout the beginning of the next year, at least supposedly. And while we're at it, watch the entire thing, and we're going to start with some Veve stuff because I've seen there's just a drop where I'm in the wait list, so we can do that live. So make sure to stay all the way through. So the hodler screen has to wait a little bit because we are here in the drop screen, relatively live. This is something that I just saw before. I have signed up here on the wait list. As you see, wait list is closed for these Veve Mightys, and with trying to grab something good here on this drop. And while that is happening, I see a couple of people are already in the chat. So Jasper Frank, hello, what's going on? Motili also, Trucking Hank is here. While we are waiting for this Veve drop and having a slow start, make sure to smash up the like button right now. I know that a lot of people are in other streams for watching the drop and so on. But we're going to do this here, and then once it's done, we are going to jump to the election topic. Looking at crypto, the broader picture, and then we come back to Ecomi and Veve. So it has been a while, a couple of days ago, maybe while we are waiting here for the countdown, talking about why there has not been Crypto Morning Coffee. Instead, there is some weekend stream. The reason being, I have family over and been doing a lot with my family. So there was little to no time. Also, there was a public holiday here on Friday. But now it's time to look at what is going on. So there will be a lot of movement throughout tomorrow and the next days, and we will see why. Obviously, presidential elections, and I have a take what is going to happen, no matter for either one or the other candidate winning. So I will also share that. We have only a couple of seconds here left on this drop, so smash the luck button also. So that we can get a little bit lucky. So what do we expect here from these NFTs? So the likelihood is very high that we hit one of these, like Morbius or the Moon Knight, which is not too bad because these are quite iconic figures. I think the worst outcome would be maybe the man thing, I don't know, or the werewolf, as uncommons are not very popular. And then if it is good, we get a Mephisto. That would be nice. Oh, I have been selected. So, but only 6 seconds, so let's hit the buy now button and confirm this purchase here. So what did I get? edition 2051 Marvel Mighties, but it doesn't say which rarity I have, right? So let's see. The mint number is obviously not very overwhelming, but how do I see this now here? I'm a bit noob here on this. So let's see. Maybe if I go back into the panel, drop secured. So the drop is there, but where does it say what it's not delivered maybe yet. Right? Where does it say? Where does it say? Collection, maybe. Maybe in the collection. Yeah, select the PogChamp. Oh, there we go. So, as I said, unfortunately, Common Gang. Let me know in the chat if you participated and are in the Common Gang. By the way, here you see like the latest drop results. So an ultra rare on this, and then some crafts, and this one was not the drop. I just bought this. Yeah, and then this whole stuff here. So I didn't participate too much, but I got a couple of things. But anyways, got a common only. So I hope you guys were a little bit more lucky if you even participated, which is not a given in these times. But PogChamp, we got the Morbius. So who knows? This is probably going to be like at least a 50% loss or something like that. By the way, what's the scarcity on these even? Oh, 2,222. So yeah, that one is definitely going under retail. Yeah, whatever, rip, right? By the way, this is a pretty bloody cover here of the Wolverine. But yeah, Common Gang for G Money also. Damn. So we didn't get the luck button right. So not enough luck buttons smashed. I think there needs to be more luck buttons smashed. By the way, did you guys get this Cryptkin Unleashed? Midnight Chupacabra is still there. How many though? Okay, so 1,930. Wow. So maybe that's under retail on the market. So we could also get this stuff on the market. But yeah, this should have been an airdrop more scarce to everyone else. But let's see here. Rip common. Wow, we only got common. So that definitely needs more luck button smashing. That's for sure. But let's do a quick run on the crypto stuff before we go back to Veve, because there is stuff about the Veveverse that needs to be discussed. So today I just want to have a 10, 15 minute or 20 minute run through crypto. But I think there are some couple of interesting things to talk about on the crypto chart. So maybe let's even go into the 4 hourly. So I think what people are fudding about at the moment in crypto, in Bitcoin, is this. If you go into the 4 hourly chart, we have a nasty drop off. And I can explain why this happened, right? There was 5% dump after we felt so good on this run up, right? Little do most people know that this is just a retest after an impulsive move. So if you go on the daily, you can see it best that we had a pretty strong impulse move that goes into a corrective move, right? And very likely then bounces on top of this and continues. But people cry because this is going on for 4 days already. We kind of expected, though, that there's no new all-time high coming in unless the elections are through, right? So this is something. This is one thing. But if you then look at the week, you see that all these 4 days is just a wick, right? It's just a wick in the wick action. We are sitting at 69K. So here, 2 weeks ago, 69K was quite exciting for many people. Oh, Bitcoin is coming back. Everyone thought it's dead. Now, 69K is FUD, as we have been quickly hitting 73K, almost all-time high, a little bit under the all-time high, where I can already say without even watching that some people will say that this is going to be a double top or whatever, right? So let's look at that. Now the question is, how is this going to unfold afterwards, right? You have some resistance here, right? So here, and a bounce. So will we continue? We are in Pumpvember, right? So just to quickly recap this. We are about to form a bull cross on the TSI. It hasn't happened yet, which is why we didn't fly completely off. Once we do have this cross, we will fly extremely hard. So the next, the election will decide that, right? Yeah, I heard the double top argument. That would be brutal. Yeah, but we have had the double top argument several times. We also had a triple top argument here, that this would be triple tops, like this, and this, right? So now it's like, this is a double top. I don't know because it's also the same. The same is true if you're saying, let's say you challenged all-time high, right? And you challenge it again. At that point of challenging, you're always in a double top situation. Always. Let's find some evidence here in the chart, in the weekly chart, right? So for example, like maybe here. Yeah. So for example, let's say you are here and the rest is unknown, right? Then, so you have the previous all-time high here, right? You have the previous all-time high here. And let's say only this red candle is where we are right now, right? And by the way, here's the last election. And here's your similar situation. So let's just say you only know this. Then the fadder in this situation would say, okay, so you have a top here and you have a big fat wick here. That's clearly a double top, right? You have to go lower. Well, it didn't play out in that sense, right? It got two big fat reactions, and these are two red weeks, right? Two red weeks with a little bit of green in between on the all-time high. Now, obviously, that is a long time ago, but now we have, well, on the challenging of the all-time high, we have a lot more action, right? But let's say, okay, the cycles get bigger or whatever, right? You can say that. That cycles take a little bit longer. Yeah, we have a lot of consolidation under this previous high, but you could have argued a double top here, and now here, right? So in all of these situations, you could argue a double top. But what if you break out to the upside? Well, then you have the same pattern confirmed as before. So this is why you always want to wait for confirmation, right? There is no sense in the guesswork. Now, but we see elections, like the last election, for example, the last election happened here in this monthly candle. So again, going a little bit in the lower time frame. I don't know why it's lagging so hard, but here we go. Going in the lower time frames, the last election is here, right? So into the breakout happened into the election. Now this time we have the election tomorrow, right? So it's actually already in the night, like of the 4th, I think, in Europe. But let me see this here. So this happened already. This is coming. Where's the election? Where's the election marker? I want to know the time of the election, actually. Let's go into the daily chart. Fed interest rate, presidential election. So, actually, it's not tomorrow, it's Monday, right? But in 2 days or so. Like today, tomorrow, it starts right now, basically. So I think the results will be there. Is it on? So if it's 6, yeah, on the 4th, right? The presidential election is on the 4th. So this is the 5th at 6, but for most of the US, it's still the 4th, like in the evening, something like that. But let me know if you're from the US. You can correct me on this. When exactly will we get results? Like when exactly will we have results on the hour? That is the question. But I think we will have sideways chop until this is clear. And now, scenarios, right? So first of all, there is an argument to be made. It doesn't really matter who wins in the very long term, right? So we see the debt, like the US debt. Clinton, 1 trillion. Bush, 4 trillion, because he had to finance some stuff that has to do with going sending some people overseas for a weapon related internship. Then Obama had to do 9 trillion. Then Mr. Trump, who Bitcoin, did 7 trillion. and then Biden did 5 trillion. So Obama obviously had a little bit more time to pile on, but on average, since basically the subprime crisis in the US, everyone is adding like 4 to 5 trillion on the debt pile, and that's getting out of hand now. But you see, no matter if it's Trump or Kamala, they have to print money. There's no way around it. And as you know, if you're of the opinion that global liquidity is a driver, then you know that this is only going to increase global liquidity, and that is going to propel Bitcoin up. So in that regard, it doesn't matter who wins, right? But this man could bring something extra to the crypto space, which is more crypto-friendly regulation, firing Gary Gensler, a couple of other things, right? Where people get bullish. No matter what, though, no matter which candidate, these are the outcomes of the last presidential elections, right? So no matter who you have, I mean, you saw it's Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, right? Something like that. Like 2 turns Democrat or 1 turn, doesn't matter. You have an explosive move out of Bitcoin every time that the certainty is there for the market. And I think I know the reason, but let me know if you think that's correct. As we discussed many times, markets hate uncertainty, and this is like an uncertainty that turns into certainty, where the next 4 years are suddenly from one day to another plannable for large scale investors. So they are basically, once this horizon, this event comes closer, they suddenly say, okay, now we can plan, right? Let's hold our horses for a while. You also see like sideways. It's basically when they start holding their horses sideways. Here also sideways for months, and here sideways for months, and now in our chart also sideways for months before the election. Like it looks familiar. Let's look at once again, like here's the sideways for 7 months or so. It does look familiar to this picture where it's sideways always from the election, right? So history has been, so every US election week in Bitcoin's history has been the lowest price it will ever be again. 4 days left TikTok. Now it's only 2 days left TikTok. But yeah, Omar Brazil says, yeah, on the 5th we get definitive results, but by tomorrow we'll start to get the vibes. I'm not from the US though. Okay, so yeah, this is when there will be initial polls, and then, hey, this is the current situation in the swing states and whatnot, and you will see this map like turning colors and so on. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Probably we'll have a live stream tomorrow as well. Maybe we can even look at some live view on that if we find something good. However, you see, election plus a couple of days, and then the show is starting. So first a quick one before we wrap up on the election itself. A little bit more to this, right? So I think the short term will be heavily influenced by the outcome of this election, right? The short term. Like, for example, I think that if Bitcoin, like if Trump wins, we will have a bit of an uptick, but not too much, because Trump is already leading on the poly markets, right? On the prediction markets. So everyone who is predicting there is basically pricing in a Trump win. Whereas no one's pricing in a Kamala win, right? So if she would win, we could see a flash crash out of Bitcoin that could be very nasty. The good thing is, though, that we are in November, and only on the 2nd of November, so we have a lot of time to develop this little red monthly candle, right? So we could dump for 2 weeks straight, very crazily here, form a wick down, I don't know, like this Kamala scare wick, right? And then recover all the way to the upside, and and form a green body. This would be possible on the monthly, right? So, but I think also it's very likely to happen that something like this, like a mega scare, I don't know, especially in crypto, would happen on a win because it's so unexpected, right? So these would be my two scenarios, that if Trump wins, it's only a slight uptick in the beginning and then the natural continuation of the global liquidity-driven crypto cycle. Whereas if Kamala wins, a big scare wick to the downside, and then a naturally driven crypto cycle to the upside as well, because of the reasons that I outlined here. No matter who it is, there's only two options. You default on the debt and the US goes bankrupt, or you print more money, right? For either candidate. So I think there's only one trajectory for Bitcoin, and that is exactly that. So PogChamp, let's go, right? What is, though, a little bit weird is that Wisdom Tree dumped 600 million in BTC and ETH, which is crazy because that's a lot of their holdings, right? And I mean, they are an ETF, so this could be a large-scale investor that just took a massive trade with the ETF. But they pulled this major move, and they sent it to Coinbase, like 8,258 BTC, which is 598 million. They sent this to Coinbase, and plus another whatever, like 125k worth of ETH. But they are still sitting on 5,611 BTC. But that's a lot. Like, why did Wisdom Tree do that? Like, do they know something, or are they taking a big trade, or whoever is investing through Wisdom Tree, right? That's a big question, because I mean that's more than half of the entire Wisdom Tree fund holding, right? Why did that get dumped? This is something that is a little bit weird. So yeah, a question mark, big question mark. But at the same time, also maybe that was something in the playbook of like a Wall Street trade or something like that. At the same time, the market basically wiped out $1 trillion from US stocks, right? So that is in one trading day the same as the entire market cap of Bitcoin, which is crazy. So that got wiped out, and obviously it's if the Magnificent Seven struggle or get a big hit, then you see like 6% Microsoft, 4% Meta, almost 5% Nvidia. Obviously, there is a lot of money wiped out on the market, and if you only have a slight correlation with crypto, that explains why we also dumped with crypto on this news, right, of yesterday, basically. So that was not good. Also, Tesla, Amazon, like the entire tech stock sector, entire tech stock got a massive hit, which explains because Wall Street sees Bitcoin as a tech stock, right? So that is also crazy. And then this one here is really cool. So we have the Michael Saylor all the time explaining, like on every interview, explaining what's going on with Bitcoin. And look, like, I want you to analyze, while we're looking at this, only a minute or so, analyze her face. Because some people say she got upset, but I would say she felt FOMO and she wanted to end the stream right there to go to a computer and buy Bitcoin, right? But let's see for yourself.
Bitcoin's doubling the Magnificent Seven. So in terms of is Bitcoin the answer? Yeah, sure. If you want to beat the S&P index, you need something better than a typical good company. A well-run company will at best keep up with monetary inflation. You need a monstrous digital monopoly like the Magnificent Seven to outdo it. But the greatest digital monopoly in the world, Trish, is the digital monopoly of money. I mean, the greatest digital network in the world is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is Facebook for money, right? It's Google for money. If all the smart, rich people in the world decide that they want to store their money in a bank in cyberspace that will never be debased and hold it for the next 100 years, right? Isn't that the best investment by definition? Because every other company has some kind of crack in its armor, some kind of attack surface all the other companies get taxed. They have employees, they have headquarters, they get hit with tariffs and fines and et cetera. So find me a big tech monopoly that is global, that sells a product that everybody wants, nobody can stop,
It's you.
and
It's
nobody
MSTR.
understands. No, it's Bitcoin,
Well,
Trish.
Bitcoin.
So she's like, it's MicroStrategy. But he is trying to hammer home the point that Bitcoin is the big deal here. But the only thing that I didn't like in his explanation is that he says Bitcoin is Facebook for financial system, which would basically mean that only boomers are using it, which is not true, right? But what is funny is like she really looks like she's uncomfortable in this in this situation where he is just basically shitting all over the S&P 500, the Magnificent Seven, and so on. But he has a point. I mean, he has a point. If we are looking for like Michael Saylor, also he posted. He's really ballsy now with his. Let me quickly get this here out of the way for you. He's really ballsy with his predictions. I mean, what is that even? He's posting his own memes. Let me see here. At some point he posted exactly here, like annualized asset performance chart over 4 years, right? So MicroStrategy is outperforming like the Magnificent Seven here by a lot, by crazy. Also, which candidate is better for Bitcoin? I mean, what the heck? Obviously Twitter bubble and so on. But here, look at that. Bitcoin makes the Magnificent Eight. We see here like MicroStrategy outperforming Amazon, Google. So he's like shit posting all the time about the others. But I mean, there is a point, and this is where say like game theory is playing out, because if these others see that this strategy leads to MicroStrategy being at some point at the top one in terms of daily traded volume, because it works like a Bitcoin ETF or something like that, right? Then maybe also these other companies will see, okay, this is actually worth having on the balance sheet to get some kind of an outperformance. I think this is pretty funny. So let's continue here with one last chart before we talk more about Ecomi and Veve as promised. Bitcoin Power of Law. Look at this chart and tell me that this is not bullish. Because since 15 years, this chart is bouncing in and out of the Power of Law curve. And if you see like the breakout of the last bull run, and also previously, if you're zooming in, happened exactly when Bitcoin crossed this curve. Now this curve though is somewhere already at 80K or something like that, right? So the price where this mid band, like the regression line is already higher than we are right now, right? This is the banana, yeah, exactly, this banana zone, only that you have to be a little bit more patient because it's the next 6 years, right? As Raoul Paul says, or Pal, whatever, you have, I would say, so if we look at this, so here's the 300K, right? And then maybe beyond, like to 1 million somewhere in 2030, beyond, we have like 8 years to as he says, to unfuck our lives, to not fuck this up, right? So I think the play for me, for myself, not financial advice, but the play for myself is pile on Bitcoin and then use altcoins to get more Bitcoin when you're taking profits, right, in the bull run. That's a play that I want to take. So in the end, it doesn't matter for me if I take some bad decisions, like an Ecomi at the moment, right? We will see how it ends up in an altcoin season, but there are some bad decisions. There's some good decisions, like Arweave, for example, was a pretty good decision to buy Arweave. But overall, this is just the function behind it is only which altcoins give me more Bitcoin in the end and really outperformed Bitcoin. We will see if that, and this is, for me, this is like a two tracks at the same time, like putting some money in Bitcoin, putting some money in altcoins, and then see, like, taking my chances, right? The other way could be just pile on money in Bitcoin and really don't ever look back or to the sides. That's also a viable strategy. But if you look at the regression line, which is somewhere at, it's actually at it's a little bit more than 70k, somewhere between 70 and 80k. So if we're looking at that in another chart, which is this one here, we can determine the exact price of the regression line, right? So, for example, here at the moment, so in this, according to this chart, the regression line is actually at above 90k, right? So this is the power of law chart, and the absolute maximum, if we would pump up in a straight line, like in this one here, in this bull run, would be a 350k Bitcoin, right? But the minimum would be that by the end of the year, the regression line, you see the mid band that always got passed, is already 100k. So the question is, will power of law be relevant in the future? And if so, then looking at 2030, our regression line, our linear regression fit, the green one, is at 500,000, right? At 2030. Bear market bottoms would be at 170k. That already means, like, buy and hold. It doesn't matter what the price at the moment is, right? If you have a long-term horizon. But I think that is it for the Bitcoin stuff. What quickly could be interesting to look at is, as we see here, that we are falling out of the USDT dominance, but in the last days, a lot of USDT has drawn out. And if we're looking at this and actually only see at this move of drawing out some USDT after the pump, taking profits, I think it's pre-elections. Like, let me take some profits, see where the election goes, and then dump it right into, then get it right back into crypto, right? So that's how I could imagine the thought process of a whale, right? So let's just wait and see 2 more days and then allocate, right? If Kamala wins, Bitcoin dumps hard, allocate, right? If Trump wins and it's getting bullish for Bitcoin, allocate, right? Doesn't matter, but let's see what happens and at which price we can re-enter. This is, I think, what is the thought process. And then also we see the DXY stalling out, global liquidity turning around at the moment, forming a small double bottom or so. But we see the DXY here making a move. This looks bullish, by the way. So global liquidity having this double bottom here. This could be it. This could be where the DXY doesn't go through this resistance anymore and comes back. This would be it. So we will see. Here should be the bull market zone, right? Where the parabolic move happens. So we are in it. We should get started, right? Gold pullback, interesting. Bitcoin pullback together with gold, also interesting. But I think over time there's more for gold. Shout out to Stu, our gold maxi. Bitcoin dominance, all-time high. Bitcoin dominance is rising hard. Like I said in the last couple of weeks, head scratcher. Why didn't we turn around and drop? Bitcoin is rising, even when it's dumping. Altcoins are dumping harder, so Bitcoin dominance is rising more. So it's interesting, and actually, it has broken all resistances at the moment. The next phase would be here at almost 61, and then here at 61.5, but I think right now that we broke 60, Bitcoin dominance could rally more, and that means more suffering for altcoins. Also means that we can pile more altcoins if we're bullish on altcoins, right? But so far so good. The higher this goes, the harder this drops probably at some point. It will be wild, right? So, but okay, we see this prediction in this. So this pattern has broken. I informed you also when this retested on the top, and we said this probably invalidated. But I still want to keep it in because I want to see how much this dominance diverges from what I had thought is going to happen to this, right? So I have no I have no problem in leaving my wrong prediction in here to see where I was wrong, right? Altcoins also, they're coming back, back testing hard. We will see how this plays out. We need Bitcoin to move first, so there's no reason to think about the altcoins at the moment. We need to have the election pass first, and then we can go further with the altcoins. But that is that for crypto. Smash up the like button if you enjoy this quick analysis here. Overall, I mean, quick look at the other chart here for from Binance with the big fat with a big fat cup and handle. It's still happening, right? There's no invalidation to this scenario. There's no invalidation to this breakout. It's relative. It's red, but it's flat, right? The monthly close is way higher than the bull flag. Really nice monthly close. So there's no reason to FUD about this. And then also there is, you can draw different scenarios in here, and all of them give you a massive bullish target. So you have this, let's say this break of the all-time high, right? Which would be happening here, where we are challenging it right now. Okay, so this is bullish. This is where you have this cup and handle. But also, you could just go and say, let's put a neckline on this. And on this neckline, you are looking at inverse head and shoulders, completing at the moment. It's not complete yet. In this scenario, we do not have a breakout here, because this is a slightly inclining neckline, where the breakout would be more at 75,000, right? So closing above this would be even more bullish, where something like this plays out. Also explains where the wicks are reacting, right? The wicks of these monthly candles. So this is something to keep in mind, that there's more than one pattern in play. The cup and handle breakout is happening. Maybe the retest of this on a monthly basis is what is happening in the elections, is a rejection of this neckline, and then boom, then we go, right? The target though is more or less the same, yeah, the breakout target. But yeah, smash up the like button if you enjoy this, and I'm pretty sure. Also look at this, exactly as we said, as long as the TSI is diverging into the or not converging, it's all fine. Before we had looked at the trajectory that would look like this, right? And then you have the end of the bull market. But as I said also in those streams, the monthly close decides whether we will do something like this or not. Have we seen stuff like that before in the TSI? Yes, we actually did. We can go back to a little bit more history though. We actually did see something like this before, like these bounces where it looked pretty bad here and here in the TSI in the previous cycle. This is the flattest since inception that we ever had. And also what we see now with this monthly close is that our very likely our top is getting delayed as well, right? So somewhere here. So this would already be June, right? Even if we would rise like crazy right now, this would already be June. Now, is that delayed from the prediction that I gave on this channel? No, it's not. Because if you remember, we said the easiest way to go about this is to go and calculate 500 days after the halving, which would be exactly here. In the monthly it doesn't, but here, 1st of September would be 518 days, right? So a little bit before September would be the top, right? That coincides with a slower rising TSI, which is to be discussed, because this is not based on any facts. That's just guesswork, right? You can rise like this, like here, right? And you top out in April. But it fairly looks like there's almost zero chance that we're topping out this year, which is something that people predicted a long time when we had this seemingly left translation due to the ETFs. But now we had this consolidation. I think this topic is out of the window already. But let's see. We are good. We are underway. It's all looking really good, looking nicely, even without charts. I mean, everyone can see it for themselves. I think we're looking good. Now it's only what's happening in the elections. Let's talk Veve. Let's talk Veve, and maybe let's start with this. So Veve, I think there are some good things coming, right? There are some good things that are happening at the moment, but I also have a little bit of critique here. So we have here Mr. Ben Rose, and I think Ben Rose is doing a great job for Veve in terms of communication, right? So in terms of communication, doing stuff like, suddenly we have Veves like Ben Rose reads tweets. So let's look at this quickly together, in case you haven't seen it. Also check out the YouTube channel of Veve if you want to see the stuff for yourself. This one thing, and then we talk about the Veveverse as well. But let's look at this quickly.
You know, we are very lucky to have a very active community, and so I just thought I'd share a few of the tweets that I have received. So let's start off. And who is Ben Rose? Who cares? It will change nothing. Awesome, thank you.
I mean, it's cool that he reacts to this first.
Hopefully you've got a bit of a sense of who Ben Rose is. Whether it changes something or nothing, I will leave that to you guys to judge. Congratulations on your role, Ben. Welcome to the Veve community. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, got a really good welcome from the community. Really appreciate it. And people have reached out to me publicly, privately. So that is awesome. Thank you.
By the way, I don't know why they pixeled this. Maybe because you can't use that commercially or whatever. But that was Mr. Falcon.
Welcome, Mr. Ben Rose. Now let's get this company to the absolute moon. Hey, look, my focus is on bringing in awesome new features, new products with an amazing team. So, yeah, let's do it. Hi there. I'm glad to see someone with a strong background across many industries in marketing, sales, and tech joining Veve. Your experience should greatly help Veve advance its path towards growth. Welcome, and I hope you have a fun stay. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, look, David and Dan chose me to come and help for a reason. So hopefully some of the skills I've got will be useful to Veve. And yeah, look, certainly has been a fun stay so far. Oh, here's a favorite. Veveverse, nothing.
That's funny because when this person said Veveverse nothing, that demo was already announced. So yeah, but okay, but so far we see the comments are very soft. So I would suggest to Ben that he takes really salty tweets to answer to, like not only obviously, because otherwise that gives the impression to new viewers that or new followers that the community is only salty, but that he chooses some more spicy things, right?
So that was day one of me joining the company. So no, on day one, Veveverse nothing. But I'm really pleased to say that now I can say Veveverse something. So we've been making quite a bit of progress, making some announcements. So yeah, day one nothing, but now something. Unfortunately,
quick remark before we read this one. An announcement is not progress, but fine, we have more announcements. We had announcements before, Mr. Ben, but yeah, we hope obviously that there's more things, and we will look at Veveverse in a second where we actually see some progress.
The real community no longer exists, only the paid ones. They have used up the last juices from a beautiful sweet orange. There was a
quick one, he didn't read all the tweets, so let's read all the tweet quickly. Unfortunately, the real community no longer exists, only the paid ones. The owners of gold and silver logo remained. This project had potential, but David has used up the last juices from a beautiful sweet orange. There was a sour rotten lemon. Is it worth destroying your image? So this is exactly what I meant. Like, take the more salty ones and respond them properly.
Paid ones. They have used up the last juices from a beautiful sweet orange. There was a sour rotten lemon. Is it worth destroying your image? I mean, wow! I think there's a bit of juice in the old girl yet. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the juicy sweet orange. Haven't seen the rotten sour lemon just yet. Although, I bet
Okay, so I think this was a pretty weak answer, which could have been there could have been a little bit more, let's say, numbers or whatever, like, hey, you're calling this and that like revenue and hiring like X positions and whatnot, like dropping 5 times, being with the biggest brands, this and that, maybe dropping even a small announcement or so. This is what you call like out of juice, something like that, right? But his answer was not really an answer. This is the problem, I think, that he will face if he like the format of this is amazing, like responding to tweets like that, but I think the answer must be more spicy.
Rose is very happy. We have just dropped Elmo, and Ben Rose was very happy. Ben Rose has picked up a few Elmos, so yeah, pretty stoked about that. Thank you everyone for all of your tweets.
So Ben is stacking the Elmo. So I think overall, first of all, that this format even exists. By the way, what is that? I didn't see that before.
Proving you wrong,
Someone
Mr.
like
Scamface.
Mr. Biden's poster boy, scam face to redeem yourself. What the heck? They put this in here without commenting, right? So let me see this.
Hopefully proving you wrong, Mr. Scamface. Thanks, guys.
What?
Hopefully proving you wrong, Mr. Scamface. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Hopefully proving you wrong, Mr. Scamface. Poster boy, scamface to redeem yourself. Okay, that was okay, right? That was nice to put this in, to pull this out. But yeah, so I think the format is nice, but I think there needs to be a little bit more juicy, spicy fighting back, right? And being more confident, because that's like, oh yeah, basically you are right with your criticism, but I'm going to ridiculize it a little bit, and that's it. No. You have to take it on and be like, oh man. So for example, he could have read this. No, where is it? Like this, the FAT here, with the like only the paid ones, the owners of the gold and silver logo. So basically, you could respond and like. Mostly gold and silver logos have been given to people that have like done some extraordinary things in the community as a thank you, blah blah blah, right? So do you really call this a payment, whatever, right? That is one option to respond to that. Or you could say, hey, look, despite the gold and silver logo distribution wasn't optimal, we admit that, this and that, right? So you can have a lot of approaches to this. And the way I think the thought behind how he's responding this is so that no one can clip this and make a new argument on top of that, right? Brandon Brown says no sell November. Yeah, we don't sell any Bitcoin, right? But no financial advice. This is no financial advice November as well. But now it gets more interesting, right? So here, this is the Veveverse, the new Veveverse live premiere showcase. It came out 2 days ago, more or less. And there are a couple of very spicy or juicy things in there. So first of all, I want to quickly comment on negativity that some people brought. I think what is and clearly was off the table since a longer time, since we saw the Mr. Falcon video and everything, is like, this is not the classical metaverse, right? This has been reduced to a showroom where you can do a lot of things and first been worked in that. I will show you another thing that someone found in a second that implies how this metaverse is going to scale out. But first of all, let's see one thing here. So since a long time, I've been saying that comics are the better investment on Vivi if we're talking about investment. And I know, yeah, it's a collector's app, no one's there for investing, blah, blah, blah. But me, I am there for investing. I'm 100% admitting that, right? So if it goes wrong, I've made a bad investment, doesn't matter. But what I said is like the comics are the better investment. Why? Because they didn't have the catalyst yet. So here's the catalyst that is coming. Let's look at this as well, which is great for comics. Comics in showroom, comics in the Veveverse. Here we go.
Empty cubbyhole in here. So what I thought I'd do is put a couple of comics in here just so you can see how that works. So once again, I'm going to jump into the library. Under the library categories, I'm going to choose Veve Comics. Please excuse the question marks. A couple of images
that could have been better
quite
for a
correctly
demo,
there.
right? But anyways.
So I've got a few comics here, so let's just go. Let's just choose a Star Wars one. I'm going to drop it in there.
Black chrysanthemums.
So this is
then
the
I can
size that you
rotate
can
it
do with
round.
comics. Pretty amazing.
You know, so for example, if I wanted to make this like a really cool comic wall, and
You
I
can
can set up, I
position
can
it
even put
size.
shelves in here, just, you know, using the simple shapes. I'm just going to jump in here just so I can just see how far away that is. Put it just sitting, oops, my man. Just sitting out a little bit from the wall there. And then I can continue to add more, and I won't set the whole thing up now because you guys will probably get a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm very pedantic. But let's stick with the Star Wars theme. Pop a Kylo Ren in there. Okay, again I'm gonna
So
hold
we
and
see,
shift.
like the
rotate it
Kylo
around.
here, it also looks pretty nice, right? By the way, I have that lightsaber and it is awesome. But that means now this will have new effects. This has new effects on how comics will be purchased, because now it's not only about the real life value and the flex of the higher priced ones, it's also about good looking covers that you can use in your showroom to build things, right? Because this is actually, like, this seems to be the biggest size, and the only thing that's weird about this is basically wrecking posters. Why would you need a poster if you can put a comic that's that size, right? But I like it because the comics, like for the comics, it's going to increase demand for comics, and that is that is pretty nice, right? So that looks good. Let's see a little bit more.
Let's scale it down a little bit.
And I think this is just going to be such a cool thing for people who love comics and collectibles to put, you know, first appearance comics with our first appearance
I
collection.
think one thing that I don't like is you saw how he placed it on the wall and then it vanished into the wall. I think the items should have a natural stick or a natural reaction, which you can toggle obviously, to objects, walls, and accessories, right? So yeah.
Collectibles and match those up. Like, you're missing out. You have this beautiful Juggy over here, but we've got, you know, the first appearance of Juggernaut comic. That should be behind him. But, I mean, it's your taste. You do what you want to do. It's your showroom.
And you know what? I actually thought exactly the same thing, and I went hunting, and I realized, oh my gosh, I don't actually own the comic. And I was going to do the same one with the Miles Morales as well, which I thought would be cool. But I could set all my comics up on all of these walls. You know, just really cool. Great way to better
I think that's what people are going to do. And by the way, if you're like more collecting comic sets, like all the versions, then probably people will put like one to the other or have a secret rare corner or something like that. But I would just put like a massive wall with all my comics, like album style, where I have all the completionism journey gets supported by this, which is pretty good. But okay, so you can watch the full thing on the Veve channel, obviously. I think it's quite interesting. Also stuff with the lighting. I mean, we see here the lighting. You can toggle the Marvel logo. You see the lighting here on this Juggernaut. So this collectible looks pretty good. And I think that's also why sometimes there was a little bit of a discrepancy between what we see on the mobile phone app and how excited people were that actually about a certain collectible that actually used the Veveverse demo or the beta, right? Which I did not have access to. So now for me, this is like almost first look. Some people were criticizing that this is basically the same as it was on like presented 2 years ago on Designer. Was it 2 years ago on DesignerCon or something like that? I slightly disagree. Obviously, the avatar looks the same, the walls look the same, whatever, right? But there's a lot more stuff licensed in. And if you remember, when we saw this demo on DesignerCon, we did not have we couldn't see Disney and also mostly not Marvel collectibles, right? There were only fishes and some design pieces. Now we see Marvel logo, we see Juggernaut, we see Marvel Comics and Disney and everything else. Like a lot of stuff is in this demo. So here's Funko, right? Funko is in the Veveverse. What else? Lambo is in the Veveverse. We see like everything, all the brands are in the Veveverse. So this was something that people were scared of. The first thing. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And here's the here we see Aston Martin is in some what else can we see? Here the Lamborghini, like this looks dope as well. So I think this is pretty high quality. To be honest, like the collectibles, look at like the collectibles and the lighting, they're looking pretty good. So let me see if there's anything else here. Disney was somewhere as well, right? I think like Coca-Cola is confirmed with this machine here. Let me see if Disney is confirmed somewhere. I think in the list, in the menu it was. Or is it here somewhere? I don't know, but I think Disney is also in it, which was in question here. Let me see. Yeah, it's here. You see the Star Wars Jedi, and the other Star Wars stuff. So Disney is with Star Wars, at least it's in. So yeah, I think that's great. And now let's look at something else. So yeah, here's once again like Veve Values has listed all the stuff like comics confirmed. In the Veveverse, you can create custom shelves with unique textures and materials, add plants, dramatic lighting, and so on. Collectibles and comics search tool allows you to load multiple collectibles at once, which is kind of good, right? You can put forms and shapes. Unlimited interactive space can be created. Controllers can be used in the Veveverse. Also, yeah, that all is pretty good. But here's more. Sorry about that. That's Pokemon, but we come to that in a second. But someone found this Omi Homi Robo found this. I think this is a pretty nice find. So in that, there's a little glimpse of when they switch the view, right? And in this drop-down menu, it says Open AI extension available. So someone says, Robo says here, Open AI extension shown as one of the member roles in the Veveverse premiere. Excited to see what the future has in store for Veve Official. So if there is an Open AI integration with Veveverse, then probably designing gets to another level inside of this, which would be pretty cool. I hope they can pull this off. Also, you can like see the microphone symbol and on the top and so on. You can like talk to other people in your showroom, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I like that a lot. And then also we had this, like, you guys know that Pokemon TCG came out. I was playing it quite a bit in the last couple of days as well. Instead of streaming, you would say now, but more like on the train and stuff like that. This game has now over 10 million people worldwide have downloaded Pokemon, and obviously David Yu says more digital collectors, which is partially true because a lot of people just see a game, right? We don't really know if the Pokemon TCG has something working in the background with NFTs. It doesn't look like it at the moment. There's also no secondary market, no chance to invest in this. But yeah, so far so good, right? people are shilling the hell out of people shilling the hell out of altcoins in the chat, like hacks and stuff like that. Please always research what you're buying. Hex is the OG Titan X. Well, doesn't matter. Like Terra Luna is the OG algorithmic stablecoin. What now? But here we go. So 10 million people playing, like collecting cards on a smartphone, right? And it's fun. It's absolutely fun. It's not on Veve, as it was very likely not coming to Veve. But it also seems that it's not on anything else as well. So that is that. Anyways, David, you're reacting to it. Let's see the comments on this. How about the Pokemon Company with Veve logo? No, that not. Macho T247 just subscribed. Welcome to the fam. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit like whatever. Feeling some not a cold, but something like pre-staged it. 2025, the sales bring on all new collectors. Yeah, the question is if from Pokemon to TCG to Veve, if there's really a step. I don't know, maybe not. But anyways, that would be cool. But overall, like, this is insane. The Pokemon TCG having 10 million people worldwide downloading it. Crazy. Really good. It's fun. I can only recommend. And you can do everything for free, basically, right? I have posted before. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't yet. I've posted before that I am fairly addicted. Look at the beauty of this card, of the Dragoneer. I think it is. Like, this is in German. But I'm a fan of these designs. They really look good. It's night and day compared to Veve. Sad that Veve could not innovate because this was the potential they had. We will see, because this is, as I said in the beginning, it's not NFT. So there's still potential, but doesn't mean that Veve is going to take this home. Anyways, guys, so I wanted to let you hear something about crypto before the elections hit. Also about Veve, Ecomi, Veveverse, and so on. A lot is going on. We will do more in terms of videos. I always say this, and I always mean it, but life is getting in the way plenty. So make sure to smash up the like button here. Let me know what you think in the comments below about all of that, what you've just seen. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. Enjoy your coffees, and I catch you in the next live.